Hey guys, it's Ravi. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? I'm doing great. Alright, basically today I'm going to be talking to you about quotes. Quotes, they're everywhere. If you look at the internet, you look at social networking sites, they're all over the place, aren't they? Quotes. Everyone likes quotes, everyone reads quotes. There's quotes about everything, and quotes everywhere, and about everything and anything. It can be everywhere. I'm a fan of quotes. I believe some quotes are very inspirational. Some quotes tend to be about the same stuff. And today I'm going to be talking to you about some quotes and just getting some meaning out of it and what it actually means. Okay, this is also my first video, so yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this, and hopefully it's the first of many. So yeah, hopefully we can find something. So, first quote, the one that I found it did read, "You can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic." Now, I don't know about you, but that speaks volumes to me. I mean, if you look at so many people now, they all want, even I want something like that's fantastic in the world, and everyone would like something that's just brilliant, that you have like, you earn the best money, you have the perfect job, everything, that your lifestyle's perfect, but that you're gonna have to work for it. There's a lot of people out there that won't work for anything, and that's like, it's not right really, because you're not going to get anywhere without having to work hard for it, unless you get really lucky, of course. And there's a few ways you can do that. But most jobs, most people that are really successful right now, you look at them, they've all had to work and like work really really hard. And like, that's what I'm going to say to you guys. Like, if you want to achieve something in life, you're going to have to really work at it, and like, by doing that, then you'll have that dream that you've always wanted. And number two. This was called. It said, "You are so used to your features that you don't know how beautiful you look to a stranger." When you read about that, it takes a while to sink in a little bit. But when you read about that is quite true in some ways, as in like the fact that, say like to yourself, you may like, a lot of people are insecure about themselves, and obviously like they have problems like that. I'm not ideally too confident about myself and that, but like, I'm okay. But there are a few people that are insecure. But when you think about it, you're so used to the same faces and that, you just think that everyone knows you a little bit. There's so many people out there in the world that to someone else you might be like the perfect sort of person, if you know what I mean. And this goes to everyone. I mean, this is how things start. Everyone starts off as strangers and that, but like, you don't really think of it when it comes down to it. You just think of that, you just know the same people every day, and that anyone else doesn't really know you. But that's what I'm saying. That person that might not know you might think differently of you than what that another person may think of you. And it's just like that thing about that. That's sort of the sense that the whole world is like so big. There's so many people around the world that you don't really think about it, because you're stuck in the same sort of area a little bit, and you don't really think about things like that. So yeah, that's a really really good quote. I think that's quite cool, and it's actually it's one of my favorite ones there. That's quite a cool one. I like that. So yeah, moving on to the next one. Hello, number 3. Now, this one says, "Be thankful for what you have, and you will end up having more. But if you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough." That again, it speaks for itself. In other words, like, a lot of people, maybe including myself sometimes, I always want more in that. And when you concentrate on that wanting more, you sort of think about, you don't think about what you have right now. You tend to think about what you don't have, and that plays on your mind a lot. So like, sometimes you might want something and you don't have it, and you seem to concentrate on the thing that you don't have rather than the things you do have. And if you concentrate more on what this quote is trying to say, is that if you concentrate on more what you do have right now, then you won't be so reliant on what you don't have, and you can live then not getting my words mixed up now. Basically, concentrate on what you have right now, all right, and then whenever something else new comes, then concentrate on when you have it. When you don't have it, it's like you're sort of chasing a lost cause. It's not there to be. You're not getting to it, in other words, and it's just you're dreaming about it, or you're having like you're just feeling like you can get to it, but you've not got it. And if you concentrate on it, it's messing with your mind, and you're not there with it, if you know what I mean. Like, I've always, like, if you dream about having something in particular, I don't know, a nice car, for example, you not have it. If you just concentrate on what you do have right now, maybe you'll get to that point, and maybe you'll be thankful when that bit does come along, and then that's just the way it is, I suppose. So yeah, good quote, and yeah, very inspirational in many ways. I'll quickly just summarise it again, because I did lag on a bit there. Basically, what you have right now, that's what you've got. What you do want in the future, don't focus on that. Focus on what you have now, because then otherwise you'll never have enough. Basically, you'll always want more and that, until it comes to the point where you can't have it. You know what I mean? So that's all. Next one, number 4. All right, reads. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different? Again, when you look at it, it is very like spot on. Like, I always remember like my family or my friends saying to me, when you were younger, this happened and that happened, and like that, and then I never really remember it, and like it just feels like I've just lived the same life as it's kept on going. But you look at every day, it does change, and it's hard. You don't really notice it, but it actually does change. What we notice is other people changing around us, and we don't notice ourselves changing. And like, it's actually true that every day, like, it's a different day, and everything does change. Like last year, you may have something. The year before that, you may have done something else, and that sort of thing. So you do actually change a lot, and you never really think about it like that. But again, it's very true. It's almost like an illusion. It's like because you're in the same body all that time, that you don't notice anything that changes about you, or about anything else. But then it does look a whole lot different when you look back on it. I mean, how many of you look back at photos and you've seen older photos of like of yourself and your friends and that, and how just at that point things were completely different to what they are now. You may still be in the same friend zone, etc., but the whole like way of how where you live now and that sort of thing, it's all completely different. So yeah, that was number 4. Next one. Why is the phone ringing? No one's answering that. I'm not going to answer that. Leave that. Alright, next one. Number 5 reads, starve your distractions, feed your focus. Short and simple, but straight to the point. I'm obviously I'm a student, so obviously like we have to do certain work, and in any sort of like day of life, you have to work and you have to get things done in that. And obviously like the worst thing possible is to like have distractions. Like this, for example, this is the main distraction in my life, and like I think. But to be fair, you wouldn't want it out of your life. You just have to sort of like balance it out, if you know what I mean. So like, so whenever like I have to do like, assignments, etc. To you, this might be completely different. You might have like other commitments and that might need to get done, and you have other things that get in the way. But I'm just giving you an example. So yeah, and obviously like I have to get all certain assignments or certain essays or certain bits of work done. But obviously when you get distracted, it's not good. So this quote basically is saying that just focus less on that, and just go for the thing that you want to do, and go for the things that you want to achieve, and just sort of like lay off the things that you enjoy right now, but just go for the things that you want. You know what I mean? It's wanting something and there's enjoying something. You want to have a good career. You want to do well enough. You want to do that, but you want to you like enjoying your mobile phone. Enjoy things like game consoles, enjoy going out, etc. like that. It's 2 different things. So basically, it's just saying it like that, basically. So yeah, hopefully you understand that and link it to yourself, basically. So like this, I'm just linking it to what I feel, but like you link it to yourself as well. That's what I'm sort of giving out these quotes of inspiration to help you. Anyway, next one, we're on number 6. Is reads you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Right, this is my all-time like favorite quote, because like every time like I always think about this quote. It's so true, and it's just like so relevant to everything. I mean, like it can be the littlest things, can be the biggest things. It's just crazy, because life in itself is too short in many ways, and like something like it could be anything. It's just basically saying that like you've got something, but you don't know you've got it until it's sort of gone. But when you go looking for it, or when you try it and you can't find it, that's when like you sort of remember it. And just because that saying, when you lose something underneath your bed or something like that, you don't notice it until it's gone. So it's all there, been there all the time on your bed or on your top. The minute it just you lose it, you like remember, oh crap, where is that? Excuse my language. Where's it gone, etc. And it's like you can't find it; it's not there anymore. And that is basically the quote. It's so to the point, if you know what I mean. It's like that is my all-time favorite quote. That is like the one that stands out from the rest. That is the one that speaks for itself, if you know what I mean. Like you can read it, and it's so relevant to everything. Like some quotes are relevant to certain people, but this is relevant to everything and everyone, and it's just quite cool the way it's quite short as well, so it's easy to remember. So yeah, I like this quote. I think it's very, very good. I mean, I've had moments where like I don't know, I've lost. Well, let's just example. I've lost my phone, and like you sort of become apparent that like, you use it every day. That you just take it for granted, and then one day you'll lose your phone, and then like you try and go and find it, and you can't find it, and then when it's gone, it's like, oh, so you didn't value it as much as when you had it before. You value it even more when it's gone. Do you know what I mean? That is the message. Number 7 now. Now this one is a kind of links back to one of the ones that I said before, but it's written a bit differently. It says, the worst thing you can do is to judge yourself through the eyes of others. Now, how many of you have gone out and like shopping, wherever you've gone out, and like you just sort of like thought to yourself, you're not good enough for somebody else, and like you just think that the way that someone like they looked at you, or somewhere that someone is, you just think that you're not good enough, but you're not viewing it as in the fact that you believe you're not good enough. You're sort of looking at it through their eyes, and you're thinking, right, they're looking at me, or they just like they don't like the look of you or something like that, or they're just judging yourself constantly, and that just makes you overthink, and it just gets you like stressed out, doesn't it? It's the most pointless thing ever. Like, why would you want to judge yourself for other people's eyes when you've got your own eyes to judge yourself by, sort of thing? Because you shouldn't really care about what other people think about you. You should really just concentrate on what you believe or what you think, and that. So the fact that this quote says that other people shouldn't really concentrate on what other people judge, how other people judge you for your own eyes. You know what I mean? Like you're placing yourself into their shoes, and you're just thinking, you're looking at yourself and thinking, you're judging yourself, and it just doesn't make much sense, and it's very relevant because how many a lot of people, I bet you, have overthinking. It's the worst thing possible, and that's one of the reasons is because of these sort of things, because you're judging yourself and you're thinking that you're not good enough, or you're not, those other people are better than you because of the fact that you've got a feeling about it when it's not even true. That person might not have even said anything to you, but the fact that you believe it in your head because you placed yourself in another direction, it's a bit mind-boggling a little bit. But yeah, that's another good quote. It's a strong quote as well because of the fact that it's a strong quote as well. Yeah, because it's again, it's relevant to everyone. Maybe not everyone. I mean, everyone. Some people might be just all right, but it's relevant to more than a few people. Like 9 times out of 10, you'd probably find a person that does this a lot. So yeah, I'll go with that. So yeah, next one, number 8. So we're on 8. 8. We're on 8, not 9. Sorry, I got it wrong. Number 8, we've got, winners are not those who never fail, but those who never quit. I know what you're thinking. It's good, isn't it? Because when you watch, for example, I'm a huge fan of sport. When I watch footballers, and you just think like the best teams and that, they just like they never lose, if you know what I mean, like that. You just think they're always going to be a winner. But there is a time in their life when they've have failed, and they've kept on going. And like that's general people in life as well. You may come to like any inspirational person has probably failed so many times before they become a winner. But the fact that they've not taken that fail and then dropped, they've actually kept on going and like got to their point of where they wanted to be in life. And like this is again a very strong quote because of the fact that like everyone just thinks that the people that are best in the world are the people that never lost, and realistically they have lost a lot of times, probably more than you. But the thing is, they've got back up and kept on going for what they wanted and what they believed in. And yeah, it's a really, really strong quote. It's a really, really strong quote because there's failing and then there's quitting, and like quitting is just completely just leaving it, and failing is like is doing something, it's getting it wrong, but you can have a chance to put it right, if you know what I mean. And that's the message a little bit. So if you do something wrong in life, there's always a chance that there's most likely that you better put it right. and by quitting, it just defeats the object, because basically you're just sort of, you accepted defeat, and the idea in life is not to accept defeat, but to overcome it. That's it. That's the word. Overcome it. Overcome it. So yeah, I hope you like that quote. Number 9. Number 9. It reads very short again. It says, "Expect nothing, appreciate everything." Again, you look at it and you think, like, most people, including myself, I'd say that I expect a lot of things and never really appreciate things. And the message here is just to, like, don't really expect things, because that's when you get put down, because when things don't go right. And if you appreciate everything, then if good things do happen, then let that happen. It just adds it on, and you appreciate it even more. But like, if you expect something, it doesn't really happen, and then you're left sort of, you're going down a little bit, and you're left sort of disheartened. Is it that a word? Maybe it's not a word. Maybe it is a word. Maybe I made up a word. Maybe I've learned a new word. Because like then you put you in a complete downer when you don't get something that you want, because you're expecting to get it or something. So, like, for example, a good example is essays and assignments and that, or exams. When you do an exam, when you come out of it, don't be so big-headed about it, if you know what I mean, and sort of like play yourself a little bit down. So just think like, all right, I've done the essay now. I hope I get a good grade. Not I hope I get an A, or I'm going to get an A. I'm going to get a B. I'm going to get an A star, etc. Just say you hopefully come out of it and you do okay. And then when you come out of it and you get a half decent grade, you sort of appreciate it more, sort of thing, because you're not paid it high so much, you paid it down a little bit. That's a tactic that I tend to use as well, because I'm not a very good thing with disappointment. But yeah, that's a good example. You can relate to anything, basically. It's very good to relate to everything, because it's very short, but it's very like strong in its own way. So yeah, expect nothing, but appreciate everything. There's the message. Last but not least, we are on number 10, guys. Already come a long way. Okay. It reads, "The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while stupid ones are full of confidence." When I read this firstly as well, I was a bit confused, but then it does again. It's sort of, it's very spot on in terms of like I'd say I wasn't a stupid person. I'd say I wasn't the highest intelligent person, but like there are many times where I haven't said anything in class. How many like secondary school and you're at like GCSE level, and the smart kids won't say anything, but they're so quiet until they're answered, and then the stupid ones will always answer and say like, "Oh, I know this," or they'll ask silly questions and that, or they'll answer silly answers, and some of them times they might be right, sometimes they might be wrong, but they won't be afraid of doing it, if you know what I mean. And that shows their confidence in themselves, and that they're not afraid of shouting anything out. And I was one of the people that used to just sit at the back, or what you call it, and never really say much, and just keep quiet until someone asked me. And even then, I wasn't really sure whether I was answering something, whether I was answering something correctly or not. And like this quote sort of sums it up, how like nowadays, like the most intelligent people who probably have the answers don't really want to say much and are full of doubt. And the stupid ones, it's hard to call people stupid, but like the least intelligent people, or the people that just don't pay attention at all and just mess around, tend to be the people that are full of confidence and tend to just like either, and they don't really care about it either, if you know what I mean. Like they'll get an answer wrong and they'll be like, "Oh, big whoop," and that, or they'll get the answer right and they'll just, you know what I mean. It's just pot luck sometimes, but that's the message basically, that everyone should be able to have confidence and like speak up no matter what, and they shouldn't be judged on what they believe or what they think, because of the fact that everyone has their own opinions on everything. As long as it's not like completely out of order, then like you shouldn't really be judged on what you say and how you say it, to be fair. And this is just a message saying that everyone should be allowed to say what they want and do what they want, and not have to worry about other people's opinions on it. And this is pretty much spot on. So yeah, that was number 10, guys. We are all done. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. As this is my first video, so yeah, if you've seen this, that'd be great. If you did like it, then hit a like. If you wanted to talk or anything, then leave a comment. Or if you want any suggestions of what my next video should be, then leave that in the comments. That'd be great, because I'd like to have a look at that and give some time to think about what I could do next. But yeah, obviously if you liked it, just do share it as well, because I want people to know about me. I'm joking, not really. But yeah, if it was inspirational and it was good for you and you learned something from it, then obviously you take it away. And that's pretty much it. I'm really thankful for you viewing this. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon. I'm making more new videos and that for you guys. So yeah, see you later, guys, and take care and have a good day. Most importantly, see ya. I'm gonna go now. See ya.